Late Game Reviewer, and welcome to my channel. Sony admits to using Kickstarter as a testing ground for Shenmue 3. I saw this earlier a couple of weeks back, and I'll be honest, I saw this on Kickstarter for a very long time, but I guess it's proven. Can I say it's proven? I mean, I don't know. It's just, for me, it's fucking awesome. You get free money by everyone, and you have no power on them. Like, they have no power on you. This is awesome. Think about it. You're a publisher, or you're even a developer. Not a lot of money, and you're kind of new, or you may have a good reputation. Even if you have a good reputation, and you're big, like Ubisoft, for example, you have standards to adhere to. You know, you got a reputation to keep. What happens when you want money? You ask, or you do your work. Investors usually, they invest like a lot of money, and they want something back in return. If they don't, or if their faith, well, I wouldn't say faith, but I could say that, but I would say their trust lowers, they want their money back. And what better way to go on Kickstarter when you can't have a refund or you have no power whatsoever? For example, I'm going to take this to the extreme. I know it is possible, but if you go on Kickstarter, I don't even know if it's possible now. I'm not even going to check. A lot of Kickstarter web pages, and that depends on them, on the people who starts the Kickstarter page, like the gaming company, the developer, or the publisher. If you give money to them because you trust in their product and you like what you see, so you want to encourage them. Like, nothing wrong there, trust me. You give them money, $25, $100, $1,000. What if, I don't know, like after a year or two or a couple of months, you don't see anything, you don't hear anything, you feel that you've been screwed, you don't trust them anymore, you want the money back because you don't trust them. What happens next? If you're an investor with some kind of power and legal power, as in, I've got lawyers behind my back and I did give you money and there's all kinds of papers that proves that, I want my money back and I will fight for it. No problem. Well, what about the guy that goes on Kickstarter and gives $25 or $100? He should have some kind of power that says, you know what, I don't like you, I want my money back. Not gonna happen in 10 years. Well, that may be like a bit too fast to say, but it's not gonna happen in my lifetime right now. That's what happens with Kickstarter, and that's what I'm really afraid of. And there's another thing. I don't know if this is the case, but before Kickstarter, what was the testing ground to test if a game would work or not? What happened to that? I'm not in the business like for over 20 years, so I don't know that one. Maybe they had to work, maybe they hired a firm, maybe they spent money for, I don't know. Maybe they tried, they risked, and they had some really smart, competent people, which means, you know what, this game by, X company with Y game released whatever game and it worked. There may be some potentials there because we saw the numbers and they did their work. What happened to that? This is the kind of lazy shit that I don't like. You go on Kickstarter, you ask people for money. It's not a vote. It's just money to prove that you're interested. This is what happened with Shenmue 3, and there's other games as well that had that gaming companies used, like Kickstarter for doing this. This is wrong. I mean, isn't there isn't there a problem there? Like some kind of, oh man, I'm really afraid of this. For example, I can't give you like a real example, but what if a company says, you know what, you had 1,000 backers, but hey, you had 10,000. We're going to back you up. Yeah, so what, you're going to do everything now to increase your numbers? That doesn't mean shit if you give the money. I mean, I'm sorry, but even if you go on Kickstarter, you give them money, you do support them. I don't know. You go on YouTube, for example, and you go on social media, Reddit, Facebook, and everything. I see this everywhere. No one, or a lot of people don't like microtransactions and DLC, yet this is what we see in gaming. If a company uses Kickstarter to say, well, you know what, I want my game, let's put it on Kickstarter, let's put it there, here's the roadmap, and during the course of the development phase, which, for example, happens with Payday 2, we're going to change. It's too late. You gave your money. I support the game, but I do not support what they did after, which I was not told. Even if they do tell it, I'm going to say, listen, I'm going to back you up for one condition. No DLC, no microtransactions, but that's what they said. You have no power. You cannot negotiate with them. This is something, this opens up an avenue. Well, the avenue is opened up already, but I don't like this at all. This is something that should not happen. Fuck, Kickstarter should be brought down if you ask me. This is a kind of website that I do not like. You give your money, you have no power whatsoever. What they give you is just a promise. I've seen broken promises before. It's not the first time. And I'm sorry, even there's a lot of people who like Star Citizen, for example. This is another example. It doesn't matter if you have $90 million of money from backers. All you do right now is give me a promise, and you're constantly giving me updates, like on a weekly even on a daily basis. I'm afraid of that. As I'm afraid of a game who gives way too much advertising. You're overhyping your product. What's wrong with the product? Is it so bad that you have to kind of secure me in a way that says, you know what, let's bash him with advertising so that way he won't see the shit that he brought in a month. The broken game that that he bought in the first place. Is this it? Is this what Kickstarter is? No, this is something that, no. I mean, Kickstarter is a ground for... I don't like it. I don't know what you guys can say for... I can't say like for or against Kickstarter, but you have to say about, the right term would be about Kickstarter, because this is something I do not want to see in the future. I do not want to, like a publisher, to use Kickstarter to know and like to gauge the interest of a game. This is really frickin' bad. There could be some evil fucking competition behind this. We could see, like the Metacritic kind of evil scheme going around. Same thing with Kickstarter. We all know what's going on with Metacritic. I mean, if a developer receives X number of votes or X number of points, then they have Y or Z kind of reward in return, which gives them... It's like it forces them to screw around people, to lie to people, to say, you know what, we have really good games, and we're going to hire people to say, we're going to make you a good review, and you're going to get a good review, and that in return will give us 100,000, which will make a second game. This is the kind of shit that could happen to Kickstarter. If you give me like 1 million backers, I'll give you 10 million in return for your development. What kind of scheme that could go around? What kind of corruption? This is a ground for corruption. I know Kickstarter should be brought down if they don't give the full ability to complete refund without asking any questions to their backers 100%. I don't know. What do you have to say about this, guys? Because this is really freaking shady to me. This is a practice I want to get away. I don't want this, of course. I'm nobody here, but anyways, I'm not going to support this, of course. See you later.